Hey Jimmy, you alright there? Still Wyeth, are you? Huh? Hey Jimmy, am I right in saying you're a pate? Am I right in saying you're one of us, Jimmy? See in your eyes, one of us. Hey Jimmy, we're going to miss the game. Going to miss the game, Jimmy. Nearly 3 o'clock the now. Dark, innit? Good job we've got the lights. A cop came to see me, but I didn't know he was a cop. I'm so trusting. And I said, sit down and have a cup of tea. And he sat down and had a cup of tea. And he was a young man, a nice looking young man. He reminded me of my son, the taller of my sons. Very discreet, a good listener. And I said, would you like a banana? I eat bananas like a gorilla. But it was a dictaphone. And I said, of course, I don't really like dictaphones. And he was interested in all my life, and he wanted to get a few things straight. It would help him with his work, and I'm getting old. There's bits of me beginning to pack up and go. And I like helping the young. It is one of the pleasures of old age. What else is there for the old to do? So I told him all I could. And I was very free and honest. I like being free and honest. I like those days when it all comes together and you know your own story and you know your own place in the world and what you have done and why. And he didn't say very much. Come to think of it, he didn't say very much at all. But he had a nice smile and he seemed a good listener. So I talked, instructing the young on my path through life. And only once did his expression change somehow. Only once did his eyes sort of flicker. And that was when I was talking about terrorism and how they all use the word terror now instead. And I told him I noticed when the change first took place. I said, I remember it being Ariel Sharon, how he kept saying terror, 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 fighting terror, war on terror, fighting terror, war on terror, all instead of terrorism. And now the word's over here. And how this reminded me of the way words would change, how news bulletins would change a word even in one day reporting Ireland, how the words on something would evolve to a kind of more acceptable slant. And I told him how I used to rant on then. I laughed how I used to rant on then in the 70s and 80s. All this stuff about changing the laws for the Irish situation, how they would bring the deadlock courts over here when they felt they could, how they would find another emergency over here when it suited them. I was really relaxed talking to the young man. I know the story of this place. I grew up in it. I have eyes and ears. I tried to find out different views. It's part of being free and honest. That's what I was so keen to tell him. It's not part of being a member of anything. It's just part of being alive. But there was something about that mention of terror. Something about the way he reacted to me talking about it. Looking back, it was almost as if he was suddenly on the job. And his face changed just a wee bit. His eyes caught mine just for a second. But it was only a couple of days later, when I was up for the toilet in the middle of the night. I was up for my usual 4 o'clock tea, and I decided to have a cup of tea and a banana. When it suddenly dawned on me, just out the blue, Jesus Christ, that cunt was a cop. That wasn't a nice young man looking for the wisdom of the old. It's the war on terror. He was part of the war on terror. And that's why his eyes changed when I spoke about that. Of course, you can never really be sure of these things. You can't really tell, there's no way of knowing. Who can you trust? Can you trust anyone ever? There seems to be so much been spent on this war on terror. So much about how we need to have more secret police, how much we need more phone tapping, all the news about threats to the fabric of our society, how the whole world has been taken over. It makes me wonder just because I keep questioning it. I can't help it, it's just the way I am. I like to be free and honest. That's just the truth of it. I can't put it any other way. And I keep opening my mouth and saying it. What else is there to do when you're growing old? You can't go to your grave without having said what you think. I suppose I just have to keep files on people like me. If I was one of them, I imagine I would.